Yes, we will. Yes, I remember the fort. That was fun. You're silly. I know. I miss you too. I don't know. Well, OMG, did I tell you about Sarah? Oh, you knew. Yes, caught in her braces. LOL, OMG TDDFY. You are so CYLPADDDD.
I miss you, and I want to talk to you tonight. Am I moving too fast?
IDK.
I'm sorry if I'm moving too fast. I just wanted to hear your voice.
Don't you think it's a little too soon for that?
I know. It's just, after a long, lonely day, I really start to miss you, and I think I want to talk to you, and there's nothing I want to do more than to hold your hand and... No, wait. She'll think I'm a stalker or something. Delete, delete, delete.
Do you want to email me?
On a whole computer? Really?
Yes. We'll be closer then.
Okay.
Hi. This is nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you sure it's okay if I email you?
Yes. I feel close to you. I love your font.
Aw, thanks. Your background looks really pretty tonight.
Do you mean that?
Yes, I really do.
Thanks. You're sweet. Do you want to look at the stars? They're so romantic. They make me feel like I could see forever. I love how they sparkle and how bright they are on a clear night.
Okay.
Okay. Go to www.starsareprettyknight.com and select Sparkle and Clear. It should take a few seconds.
Pretty, sparkle, clear. Okay. Wow.
Is he serious? Okay, let me see. Dear Desiree, no, you should not tattoo her name across your forehead. This is not the most appropriate way of getting a girl's attention. Have you ever considered emailing her or sending her a pulse? That's it. Send her a message and say something like, hey, I like you. Do you want to download a movie together? Or you could ask her to eat dinner while you eat dinner over a video conference or something. Just don't scare her. And don't tell her she looks nice. That scares girls. Walking right up to her and saying hello is a bad idea. I mean, what are you doing looking at her before you're even together? Do you want to be a stalker? And forget about the tattoo. I know it's scary emailing a girl on a first date, but you have to get some self-control for God's sake. Sincerely, Natalie.
Natalie, isn't your class beginning?
Yes, Mom. I just had to finish sending this post. I think I just helped avoid a catastrophe for Desperate Derek.
Oh, you're still running that column.
Yes, Mom.
I don't have to tell you how I feel about it, I suppose.
No, you've already told me 78 times this week.
Humorous, dear. Humorous. It's just that I don't understand why you need to try to give advice and counseling when there are predictors to show people what they need to do.
Oh, so you are going to tell me about it then?
Well,
Desperate Derek, whoever he is, didn't have the sense to put the risk factors and the data into his predictor, first of all. Second of all, I like helping people. You should see how many people write into the column and tell me that they didn't trust the predictors and they needed my advice.
Didn't trust the predictors? Natalie, I think you'll find that kind of silliness goes away when you get older. Maybe you could get a job helping kids learn predictors to weigh the risk and consult the data and wait for it to tell them what to do.
Mom, I don't want to just plug numbers into a machine.
Why not? And excuse me if my job isn't good enough for you, princess.
Mom, I didn't mean... I don't know, Mom. Your job is different. Of course you have to put in the data and I don't know. I guess I just feel that there's a difference with people. People's lives aren't data you can just put into a machine and wait for the answer to come out.
That's a very sweet notion, Natalie, but I think you're just going to have to accept the fact that the computer knows better than you do. It knows better than any of us. That's why people made them in the first place.
I have to get going.
Do be careful, Natalie.
I'll see you tonight. Where is Dr. Patterson? Class was supposed to start 17 seconds ago.
Sorry I'm late. We'll end 18 seconds early today to compensate for the time. We'll continue our lecture on the mid to late 21st century, which we started yesterday. Is everyone following along?
Yeah.
Now, it was about this time that the Juice Network was completed worldwide. Just as the framework for the internet was finished at the end of the 20th century, the last of the Juice satellites were in orbit by 2083, allowing all of the continents to access the technology. If you look on your screens, I'll send a map of the completion of the Juice. Okay? Now, after the completion of the Juice Network, we have the development of the shared memory bank, which we'll be exploring today. So if you'll all go to memory.patterson.mem/08280 and click on your names, each of you will be assigned a random memory to view and then share it with the class for comparison. All right, now headphones on and get inside your memories, and we'll take a short break before coming together to share.
Are you using that?
I'm not.
Thanks. Farah.
What kind of memory did you get, Natalie?
Nothing much. A little more than 100 years ago.
What was it?
I don't know. It was hard to tell. Maybe the juice got weak inside there. Hey, that was funny, wasn't it?
The weak juice, you mean? It was unusual, yes.
So what memory did you get?
I got the War of 2083.
That was short, right? I remember reading somewhere that it was short.
Only a day. The first computer war. The first war without soldiers, I think people say. Couldn't win reaction time. It would have taken too long. All of the targets for the bombs and missiles were decided in less than a second. All from the programs the Army wrote. It was over before anyone even knew it started.
That must have been an awful memory to watch.
It was clean and neat in a way, like a blast of light and smoke, and a bunch of news coming in on everyone's pulses and TVs. If you were in one of the cities, you probably died, but most people went to the country when there was talk of war coming. 5 or 6 families were bunkered in farmhouses, and everyone went to the mountains and away from cities. But I don't know what it was like for them. The memory didn't go there.
Where did it take you?
I was on the edge of a city. I don't know where. There was a blast of light and I couldn't see anything. And then there was a hot pain in my chest and I was on the ground.
I didn't get anything like that. I saw 2002.
You remember now?
Yes, now I remember. It was when people first started talking with their computers and the phones. Not everyone had a phone for themselves. There were no pulses, that's for sure.
You saw this?
Yes, it was odd and uncomfortable. People would ask you things instead of downloading your profile. And strangers would ask you for things like directions or where things were. I guess this was before the global positioning chips they put in babies now. My grandma told me when she had to get it implanted in 2035 or something. She said it hurt a lot, and a lot of people didn't like it. But then the government...
Everyone has to now.
Right, when you're born.
There was a memory I once saw.
Yes.
Do you have your pulse?
Yes.
works because of the juice.
Well, sure, how else would it?
I had a memory once that someone broke hers and didn't use it anymore.
It was a person's memory and not the network's? The network would never
No.
let you see.
It wasn't on the network. I had it. But the girl in the memory, she broke her pulse. And she snuck into the juice station and shut it off somehow. And no one in her town had any juice for a whole day.
When did this happen?
I don't know. The memory was not labeled. Not long ago, I think.
What did the town do without any juice?
I mostly couldn't tell. She had to run away after she got... The police were chasing her. But I did see a little bit of her school. She was at school when she did it. And she snuck back in to see what it would be like. And I know she just saw everyone sitting there with their computers, not saying anything. They were just looking at each other. No one knew what to do. And that was all. She had to run after that.
I couldn't imagine living without the juice. How did anyone talk?
How are we talking right now?
Well, sure, but you can't go through your whole life talking like this. I mean, that would be weird. I post to people all the time. People I know, anyway. But that's my job, you know. I send out that column on the university website. Ask Natalie.
I don't know it.
Oh. I can get a beam to your pulse.
I'll just ask you if I have a question.
Like this?
Of course.
I mean, wouldn't that be kind of weird? You would look right at me and ask me advice?
If I had a problem, yes. What kind of advisor would you be if you couldn't talk to me to my face?
A normal one? That's like an intrusion of privacy. Just use your pulse.
What if I shut it off? Like the memory.
Well, sure, you'd shut it off, but I mean, then you wouldn't get updated, you wouldn't know about things as soon as they happen, you wouldn't be in constant contact with everyone.
And how would that be, Natalie?
I don't know.
I think it would be wonderful.
What do you mean, wonderful? You have to find things out by reading things, or asking questions to complete strangers. I mean, you might even have to touch them. You can't do that to people. Look. Excuse me. Can I ask you something?
What? Why? For juice's sake, back up. What do you want?
I have shoes. Where did you get them? I said I like your shoes. Where did you get them?
OMG.
I like your shoes. Where did you get them?
Oh, thanks, Natalie. I got them here.
Thanks.
Why did you scare me like that?
I don't know. Still a little work from the memory I got.
Well, don't do that anymore.
I won't. Bye. See?
You're studying counseling here, aren't you?
How do you know?
It's on your university profile.
But that's protected. How did you get to it? You know because I write that website.
I knew before I met you. And your name.
My name? You saw it when I posted.
I haven't looked at my pulse.
Yes, you did.
I haven't looked at my pulse, Natalie.
You're starting to scare me.
Which do you prefer?
Which what?
Come with me.
I don't think so.
Come with me, Natalie.
No, I'm going back to class.
I think you'll want to see this.
See what?
I asked you which you preferred.
And I asked you what you were talking about. And you won't answer me. You keep mentioning things that aren't around anymore and old ways and someone else's bad memories you got.
You wish most that you could find a way to help themselves.
What did you say?
You want, more than anything, to make them help themselves.
Who?
You know,
No, I don't.
those that come to you. Why can't I show them how to help themselves? All those that seek your advice always come to you, Natalie. We all have our destinies.
Get out of my head!
There is a way to show them how. Come with me, Natalie.
Wait! Where are the guards?
They do not guard this entrance. I think maybe there's nobody who knows about it. But I saw the girl in the memory. Only she knew it was here. I don't know how she knew, but this place is from the old days when there were the old wars. The people used to build these places so they could all hide and protect themselves from the bombs and missiles and I don't know what else. But they could hide here because the old bombs couldn't get them when they were underground.
Why did you bring us here, DeFera?
To see if it can be the old way again.
The girl in the memory?
Yes, I must. I have dreamt about her too many times. And for you too, Natalie, to speak to them closely, to hold their hand, to look into their eyes, to show them what used to be.
No, I can't do that. No one will listen to me if I don't show them. They need to see it on the projectors. They don't want to talk to me.
All inventions of your fear, Natalie. So much more than we see is real.
Wait!
They will come, of course.
Who? You mean the police?
Yes, the government police.
It's fine. I think we'll be here, K4. What did you do? Why did you make me do this with you? My pulse isn't working, DeFera. I don't have any juice. Does anyone?
No, not for now.
Well, what are we going to do? You're right, they are going to come. They're going to know it was us. They'll trace it. If they've got it recorded, they'll find your fingerprints. They're going to know it was us. How's anyone going to talk now?
Like this?
Like this? No, it can't be.
But you have been to me.
I don't know why I can talk face to face. I just always could. It never bothered me, but most people don't like it. You saw the way that girl.
Now you've let it loose.
What?
Inside you. It's out.
What's out?
Your voice. You have spoken to me, and it has reached me. It has reached my ears, not my screen or my eyes. It has reached my ears.
Loose? I let it loose? This is the way it was, wasn't it? Before all the juice, before all the power.
I don't know, Natalie. I was not there. Nor were any of us. All we have are the wisps of memories that some have seen. They spoke it. They talked to each other and sat next to each other and could hold each other's hands and hear their hearts beating. They must have sat so close.
Why did you get me into this?
You didn't have to do it. You wanted to know, so I told you. But you wanted to see, didn't you? You wanted to see what it would be like without the juice.
I didn't want this!
Why not?
Because we've never done things this way.
Is that the only reason, Natalie? Are you afraid? You are shaken off balance, but I think you find it easy to be this way.
Natalie? Is that you? Natalie?
Mom?
Oh, Natalie, my child. Thank Earth you're here. And okay, right? You're okay?
I'm okay.
Natalie, something horrible has happened. I don't know how to tell you this, but there's no more juice. Everything is off.
I know, Mom.
You do? I see. You noticed it too. I don't know how it happened. I was at work putting in the data like I always do, and
Mom?
and everything was gone. It all turned off. That never happened before. Nothing works. My phone, it's dead. The computer won't turn on. The climate adjuster is off, and I'm starting to smell the air from outside, Natalie. I don't think I can take it anymore.
Mom, it's okay. You're breathing.
And who's this?
My name is DeFera. I'm in school with Natalie.
Oh, you poor child. Are you frightened? Don't be frightened. I'll protect you. Here, have a nice, calming memory of mine.
Mom,
It doesn't work. I'd forgotten already. Would you like a pillow?
No, that's okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to.
It's okay, just keep breathing.
I can breathe. It smells so strange. like grass and mixed spray, like what they always said the ground smelled like. It smells so fresh.
See, Mom, you're fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, my baby, my dear sweet girl, you're okay. I'm just so glad you're okay. Have you looked outside?
No, why?
Come and look. It's clouds, I think. They look like they used to when you used to.
What, Mom?
When you were a little girl, you once read a website that said long ago when people were sad, they used to try to find rain to walk around in because it would make them feel better, or romantic the word was, I think, or wet anyway. And if you liked that so much, you would go and download clouds and watch them on your computer. One time you kept trying to touch the water and you kept saying, "Rain, rain, mother," and the clouds would come out of the screen and would go all over your head, and you were sad because the water wasn't there. Can you imagine that, Natalie? You wanted to touch the rain, and you went to the kitchen and you poured water in a cup and dumped it all over your head. You were so sad that the water wasn't there, so you made your own. You made your own rain.
All this time, I never realized. None of this is real to Farron, none of this. Not the pulses, not the weather control, not the predictors. Nothing. Not even the rain.
We all must make our own rain.
Who is it?
It's me, Dorothy, from Dr. Patterson's class.
Dorothy?
I showed you my shoes.
Right.
Oh, thank goodness someone let me in. I was so scared. I don't know how to tell you all this, but there's no more juice. Nothing works. Nothing works.
It's okay, Dorothy. We figured it out.
I can't talk. I'm so scared.
Why don't you come and sit down, dear?
Ah! Oh, you were trying to be nice, weren't you?
Yes, I meant to be. I didn't mean to grab your arm. Well, I mean, I didn't mean to. I just didn't mean to. Oh, I'm just so confused.
Why don't you both sit down?
Okay.
Okay, what are we going to do?
Wait to see how long it lasts. It's wonderful.
I don't know why you think so.
It's as I said. Look, talking, Natalie. We don't read anything. We don't type anything. We don't need any devices. Look, there is the rain. And they didn't plan rain today. And nobody predicted it. It's a surprise. And it's real. For once, this is real rain.
It looks different than usual.
They're coming for me
How do you know?
because they came for her. In the memory.
They don't know you're here.
Yes, they do. They always know more about us than we wish they did.
Mom,
Yes, dear.
if anyone needed to hide in this building, where could they?
Hide? What on earth for?
Bear's afraid.
No, I'm not, Natalie.
Well, I am.
Natalie, what's going on? Does this young lady know anything about what's happened?
No, we just know what anyone else does, which is nothing. I mean,
I had a memory like this once, man.
What? You had a rogue memory? They would never let something like that on the memory network.
It was given to me. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, but You had a rogue memory. Then you know something about what happened.
Something, ma'am. We will be okay without the juice. Better, I think.
What?
Oh no.
How can you even say such a thing? The juice gives us everything we ever wanted. It lets us talk to each other. It lets us know everything as soon as we want to. It lets us have whatever we want, whenever we want it. It gives us our lives. It lets us see what will happen so we don't have to make any mistakes. It lets us select our weather. It lets us pick our babies. It gives us our lives.
Alright, then we should all just...
Didn't people live before? Didn't people speak to each other? And feel and love? All we do is tremble and fear at what might happen. It might rain. It might be a girl and I wanted a boy. So we know everything. And we control everything. But you know what? For everything we know, we lose the excitement that comes out of not knowing. And for every time we make sure nothing can happen out of our control, we lose any shred of awe for anything. And we end up losing the things that make life worth living in the first place. That's why I don't want the juice. And that's why I don't need this.
Oh, the ID isn't working either. It's Dr. Patterson.
May I come in? It's all gone. Do you folks know? Of course you do. The juice. It's gone.
We know, sir. Are you okay? Would you like a pillow?
No, not the pillow. He doesn't need a pillow either like Dorothy. Where's Dorothy?
Oh dear, that girl? Did she leave?
Natalie,
She wouldn't have.
I think she is gone.
Pillow man? I suppose I will take it. Thank you. It's comforting. I came back to class. There was no juice. There's nothing I could do. The students, they looked right at me. And one asked, what do we do now? And I didn't know. And they all looked around at each other. And it was horrible. Like the first time any of them had seen each other. I don't think any of them really knew what to do. And one asked, can you still tell us about the building of the memory network until this passes? Until the juice comes back? And everyone looked around and nodded. Yes, they said. Tell us about the history until this passes. Until the juice comes back. And I couldn't remember what we were discussing. I tried to tell them something I knew, something I'd learned. There was nothing. All the memories and the knowledge and the information, it was all on my pulse, on the juice. It wasn't inside me anymore. It wasn't real.
Well, we still need you to tell us about it, didn't we?
I'm nothing. I'm a fake.
No. All the other professors do it too. No one keeps the information in their heads because it's all there in the pulses.
Then we're all fakes. We're ruined.
We're not ruined. Look, it'll just take a little getting used to.
No! This is the end. We can't live without the juice. We can't live. I can't.
Dr. Patterson, calm down.
This is the end. I can't. I won't live without it.
Doctor!
Listen! There's nothing! No sound, no juice, no pulse. There's no pulse. I can't stand the silence.
Dr. Patterson, no!
Yes, I'm nothing. I'm a fake, nothing else.
You're not a fake. You're just afraid. And I am too. But it's okay to be afraid, I think. You think that there's nothing that can save you, but I don't believe that. This is just different. You're more than what's on the pulse, Dr. Patterson.
No,
Hold your hand up.
Nothing can save us.
Hold it out to me. That's it. Do you feel that?
What?
That's my pulse. My real pulse.
Pulse?
Yes, you have it too. That's what's alive. That's what's inside you.
That's your pulse.
Yes, You have it too. You don't need the juice to live, Dr. Patterson. Just keep breathing. You can have this again.
This is what I spoke of. You can help them, Natalie. All those that need you.
This is the government police who are harboring a criminal in your home. Open this door in 3 seconds or it will be broken down.
Police want. What criminal do we have?
DeFair, what do we do?
1!
It's me they want, Natalie. No one was ready for this.
Not you, Natalie. Did you do this?
No, I mean,
Your daughter has a special gift, ma'am.
2!
Look after her. She needs to show people how it was. People need to know that there's more to life than cables and screens and satellites and the juice and
3!
there's touch and love and understanding and empathy and
That's her. She had a rogue memory, and I saw her going into the restricted area. She knows about it. She did it. She stopped the Jews.
It's not on yet. What is your name?
I don't have to. Why don't you look at your pulse? It just came back on.
Hold her! You want to come with us. If you resist, you will be electrically to come with us. You will answer everything that we ask you. If you do not, you will be forced to answer by any means necessary. You understand us. Take her away.
DeFair!
Okay, it's been a while. Let's try again. No, not yet. Okay, maybe now it's back on. No, not yet. How about now?
I don't think it's back on yet.
I want to talk to you.
Go ahead. Try.
I can't. My pulse doesn't work. Maybe I can...
What are you doing?
I heard that people used to have a code. Like they would tap on things and spell out what they wanted to say. See if you can understand this. Did you get that?
No.
How about now?
No. How am I supposed to know what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I didn't listen to the whole story.
Do you want to just turn around and face me?
Really?
Yeah. Let's just see what happens.
How long has it been?
I think it's been a day. Or 2. 3 at the most.
3 days without juice.
It may not have been that long. I could have counted wrong.
It feels like longer.
What did you want to say to me?
That I think you're the most wonderful girl in the...
Thanks. I think you're wonderful too. You're so brave. You've been protecting me all this time.
I have, haven't I? I will protect you. From whatever. There's not much to protect you from, really.
No, but it's nice that you're here.
I'm gonna go make sure everything's safe.
No, wait. Just stay here with me. It's better to be in the dark together. It's better to have you here. Let's just keep waiting.
Okay. For what?
The juice. It's going to come back. Do you want it to?
Yeah.
It's back on, Natalie. It's back on.
It is? Oh, good.
Here, look.
It says there's a temporary malfunction because of a solar flare. The energy interfered with the satellites.
Well, that was certainly a scare.
Yeah, right. A solar flare. That's not what it was.
What? What was it then? Not that young girl. Your friend?
No, I guess it wasn't her.
Then why are you sad? Everything's back to the way it was, and the way it should be.
Mom, did Grandma ever tell you what it was like before the juice?
No, honey, she didn't really remember. She was just a young girl when they wired the world, and by the time she was in school, they already had the weather adjusters.
Oh. What do you think it was like?
I don't know. I imagine you had to do a lot of unpleasant things. You had to talk to strangers face to face.
Well, you had to do it with Dr. Patterson. You did a good job, Mom.
That was so unusual. It felt terribly awkward. But you were very brave to calm him down like that. You shouldn't have had to do that.
Why not? It was good, Mom. I helped him.
Well, you didn't know if it was going to work. Now, if you just had a predictor, you could have shown him that it was going to be okay and that he was going to find a way through this terrible day.
But that's just it, Mom. I didn't need to show him. I convinced him. I made him help himself.
Well, it's like I said, dear. You're not as good as a computer. No one is.
I think there was a time where that wasn't the way of things.
Well, you've always liked people so much. Really, I never understood it. And if the world was left up to people to run things, where would we be today? I mean, do you really want to put your trust in people?
Yes.
Oh, Natalie, you'll understand when you're older.
That was so scary. I'm glad I got to see you up close.
Me too, I think. I mean, I didn't know you're ready to see me like that.
You look so wonderful. You were so brave when you were ready to protect me.
What do you want to do?
Let's look at the stars again. Or do you want it to rain? We can have whatever we want.
The stars are fine. I'm tired of the rain. Let's have stars.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
You can't cigar anymore without thinking of houses on fire. It's disgusting.
Fellow citizens we, guardians of the city,
Watchers, listeners,
friends of the friendly town,
Which pays our salaries?
uniformed, equipped, we guard your homes, patrol your streets.
vigilant, tranquil,
Resting from time to time, but alert, unsleeping.
Watching, listening, lest hidden danger come to light too late.
Much goes up in flames, but not always because of fate.
Call it fate, they tell you, and ask no questions. But mischief alone can destroy whole cities.
Stupidity alone
City, all too human.
can undo our citizens, our all too mortal citizens.
Use your head. A stitch in time saves 9.
Exactly.
Just because it happened, don't put the blame on God.
Nor on our human nature.
nor on our fruitful earth.
Nor on our radiant sun.
Just because it happened, must you call the damn thing fate?
Our watch begins.
Mr. Biederman.
They ought to hang them. I've said so all along. Another fire. And always the same story. Another peddler shoehorning his way into somebody's attic. Another harmless peddler. They ought to hang every one of them.
Mr. Biederman, the peddler, he's still here. He wants to talk to you.
I'm not in.
Yes, sir, I told him an hour ago. He says he knows you. I simply can't just throw him out.
Why not?
He's way too strong.
Have him come to the office tomorrow.
Yes, sir, I told him 3 times. He's not interested. He doesn't want any hair tonic.
What does he want?
Kindness, he says. Humanity.
Have him wait in the hall for me. Selling suspenders or razor blades. I'm not inhuman, you know, Anna. But they mustn't come in the house. I've told you that 100 times. Even if we have 3 vacant beds, it's out of the question. Anyone knows what this sort of thing can lead to these days.
Good evening. Your cigar, Mr. Biederman.
Look here.
Good evening.
What is this? I told the girl distinctly to have you wait in the hall.
My name is Schmitz.
Without even knocking.
Sepp Schmitz. Good evening.
What do you want?
You needn't worry, Mr. Biederman. I'm not looking for a job.
No?
No. And I'm not a peddler.
No?
I'm a wrestler. I mean, I used to be.
And now?
Unemployed. Don't worry, sir. I'm not looking for a job. I'm fed up with wrestling. I came in here because it's raining hard out there. It's warm in here. I hope I'm not intruding.
Cigar?
You know what's awful, Mr. Biederman? With a build like mine, everybody gets scared. Thank you.
Get to the point.
My name is Schmitz.
You've said that. Delighted.
I have no place to sleep. No place to sleep.
Would you like some bread?
If that's all there is.
Another glass of wine.
Bread and wine, sir. If it's no trouble. If it's no trouble.
Anna!
The girl said you were going to throw me out personally, Mr. Biederman. But I knew you didn't mean it.
Anna, bring another glass.
Yes, sir.
And some bread.
And if you don't mind, miss, a little butter. Some cheese or cold cuts. Only don't go to any trouble. Some pickles, a tomato, something. Some mustard. Whatever you have, miss.
Yes, sir.
If it's no trouble.
You told the girl you know me.
That's right, sir.
How do you know me?
I know you at your best, sir. Last night in the pub, you didn't see me. I was sitting in the corner. The whole place liked the way you kept banging on the table.
What did I say?
Exactly the right thing, sir. They ought to hang them all. The sooner the better. The whole bunch. All those firebugs.
Sit down.
This country needs men like you, sir.
I know, but...
No buts, Mr. Biederman, no buts. You're the old-time type of solid citizen. That's why you're slant on things.
Certainly, but...
That's why.
Why what?
You have a conscience, sir. A solid conscience. Everybody in the pub could see that.
Naturally, but...
Mr. Biederman, it's not natural at all. In the circus, I did my wrestling, for instance, before it burned to the ground. The whole damn circus. My manager, for instance, you know what he told me? Sepp, he says, you know me, they can shove it. What do I need a conscience for? Just like that. What my animals need is a whip. That's the sort of guy he is. A conscience. Heh. If anybody has a conscience, you can bet it's a bad one. God rest him.
Is he dead?
Burned to a cinder with everything he owned.
I don't know what's keeping that girl so long.
I've got time. You haven't an empty bed in the house, Mr. Biederman. The girl told me.
Why do you laugh?
Sorry, no empty bed. That's what they all say. What's the result? Somebody like me with no place to sleep. Anyway, I don't want a bed.
No?
Oh, I'm used to sleeping on the floor. My father was a miner. I'm used to it. No apologies necessary, sir. You're not one of those birds who sounds off in public. When you say something, I believe it. What are things coming to if people can't believe in each other anymore? Nothing but suspicion all over. Am I right? But you still believe in yourself and others, right? You're about the only man left in this town who doesn't say right off that people like us are firebugs.
Here's a napkin.
Or am I wrong? People don't believe in God anymore. They believe in the fire department.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing but the truth.
We have no cold cuts.
This'll do, miss. This'll do fine. Only you forgot the mustard.
Excuse me.
Eat. You don't get a reception like this every place you go. Let me tell you, Mr. Biederman, I've had some experiences. Somebody like me comes to the door, no necktie, no place to stay, hungry. Sit down, they say, have a seat. And meanwhile, they call the police. How do you like that? All I ask for is a place to sleep. A good wrestler who's wrestled all his life. Somebody who's never wrestled at all comes in and grabs me by the collar. What's this, I ask myself. And I turn around just to look, and first thing you know, he's broken his shoulder.
That's how it goes these days. You can't open a newspaper without reading about another arson case. And it's always the same story. Another peddler asking for a place to sleep, and next morning the house is in flames. I mean to say, well, frankly, I can understand a certain amount of distrust. Just look.
I saw it.
A whole district in flames. Just read that.
Is this wine Beaujolais?
Yes.
Could be a little warmer. Apparently the fire was planned and executed in the same way as the previous one.
Isn't that the limit?
That's why I don't care to read newspapers. Always the same thing.
Well, yes, naturally. But that's no answer to the problem, to stop reading the papers. After all, you have to know what you're up against.
What for?
Why, because.
It'll happen anyway, Mr. Biederman. It'll happen anyway.
You think so?
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like?
Not today. Mustard is my favorite dish.
How do you mean God's will?
God knows. Expert opinion is the fire was planned and executed in the same way as the previous one.
Mr. Biederman.
What is it now?
Well, Mr. Neckling.
Out of the question, Mr. Neckling?
Well, he wants to talk to you. He says...
Out of the question!
He says he simply can't understand you.
Why must he understand me?
Well, he has a sick wife and 3 children.
Out of the question! Mr. Neckling? Mr. Neckling? Let Mr. Neckling leave me alone, damn it! Or let him get a lawyer. Please, let him. I'm through for the day, Mr. Neckling. All this to do because I gave him his notice? Let him get a lawyer by all means. I'll get one too. Royalties on his invention. Let Mr. Neckling get a lawyer or stick his head in the gas stove. If Mr. Neckling can afford indulging in lawyers, please let him. Tell Mr. Neckling I have a visitor. Excuse me.
This is your house, Mr. Biederman.
How's the food?
Who would have thought you could still find it these days?
Mustard?
Humanity, Mr. Biederman. Here's what I mean. You don't grab me by the collar and throw me out in the rain. That's what we need, Mr. Biederman. Humanity.
You mustn't think I'm inhuman, Mr. Schmitz.
Mr. Biederman.
That's what Mrs. Neckling thinks.
Would you be giving me a place to sleep tonight if you were inhuman? Ridiculous.
Of course.
Even if it's a bed in the attic. Now our wine's the right temperature. Police?
My wife. Come along, Mr. Schmitz. But mind you, no noise. My wife has a heart condition.
You know, Anna, we're not narrow-minded. And I don't mind a boyfriend. But if you're going to park him in the house...
But Mrs. Biederman, I don't have a boyfriend.
Then, whose rusty bicycle is that? Outside the front door. It scared me to death.
Come along. Here's the light switch. If you get cold, there's an old sheepskin around here somewhere. Only for heaven's sake, be quiet. Take off your shoes. Mr. Schmitz,
Mr. Biederman?
you promised me though, you're not a firebug? Shh.
Gottlieb, my husband, promised to go up to the attic every evening, personally, to see if there is any firebug up there. Oh, I'm so thankful. Otherwise, I'd lie awake half the night.
Fellow citizens we, shield of the innocent, guardians ever tranquil, shield of the sleeping town,
Standing.
Or sitting.
ever on guard, taking a quiet smoke now and again to pass the time, watching, listening, lest malignant fire leap out above these cozy rooftops to undo our city. Everyone knows we are here, ready on call. Who turns the lights on at this wee hour? Whoa! Nerve shattered, uncomforted by sleep, the wife appears.
Somebody coughed. Gottlieb! Did you hear that? Somebody's there. That's men for you. A sleeping pill's all they need.
We were not called. O radiant sun, O godlike eye, light up the day above our cozy roofs. Thanks be.
No harm has come to our sleeping town. Not yet.
Thanks be.
For the last time, he's not a firebug.
How do you know?
I asked him myself point blank. Can't you think of anything else in this world, Babette? You and your firebugs. You're enough to drive me insane.
Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you, Babette. I'm merely yelling. If everyone goes around thinking everyone else is an arsonist, you've got to have a little trust in people, Babette. Just a little.
I don't agree. You're too good-hearted, God. You listen to the promptings of your heart, when I'm the one who can't sleep all night. I'll give him some breakfast, then I'll send him on his way.
Do that.
In a nice way, of course, without offending him.
Do that. I have to see my lawyer.
Why? Did you give Neckling his notice?
I don't need him anymore.
But you were always so pleased with him.
That's just what he's presuming on now. Royalties on his invention. That's what he wants. Invention. Our Hormatone hair tonic is merchandise, that's all. It's no invention. All those good folk who pour our product on their domes could use their own piss for all the good it does them.
Gottlieb Biederman.
It's true, though. You're right, I'm too good-hearted. But I'll take care of this neckling.
Good morning, everybody.
Mr. Schmitz.
Call me Seth.
I have to go, I'm sorry. My wife will speak with you. Good luck. Good luck, Seth.
Good luck, Gottlieb. That is your husband's name, isn't it? Gottlieb?
How did you sleep?
Thank you, madam. Kind of freezing. I made use of this sheepskin, though. Reminded me of the old days in the mines. I'm used to it.
Your breakfast is ready.
Really, madam? No, really,
You must pitch in, Seth. You have a long way to go, I'm sure.
How do you mean?
Would you care for a soft-boiled egg?
2.
Anna!
I feel right at home, madam.
2 soft-boiled eggs.
Yes, ma'am.
3.5 minutes. Miss, good morning.
Morning.
The look she gave me. If it was up to her, I'd still be out there in the pouring rain.
Mr. Schmitz,
Yes?
if I may speak frankly,
You're shaking, madam.
Mr. Schmitz,
What's troubling you?
here's some cheese.
Thank you.
Marmalade?
Thank you.
Honey?
One at a time, madam, one at a time. Well,
Frankly, Mr. Schmitz,
just call me Seth.
frankly,
You'd like to get rid of me.
yeah. No, Mr. Schmitz. No. I wouldn't put it that way.
How would you put it? Tilsit cheese is my favorite dish. Madam thinks I'm a firebug.
Please don't misunderstand me. What did I say? The last thing I want to do is to hurt your feelings. Even your manners, Mr. Schmitz. I'm not complaining.
I know. I have no manners.
That's not it, Mr. Schmitz.
I smack my lips when I eat.
Nonsense!
That's what they used to tell me at the orphanage. Schmitz! Don't smack your lips when you eat!
You don't understand me. Really, you don't in the least.
I'm going.
Mr. Schmitz,
I'm going.
another cup of coffee? Half a cup. You mustn't take it like that, Mr. Schmitz. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't say a single word about you making noises while you eat. Have I hurt your feelings?
It's not your lookout, madam, whether I have no manners. My father was a coal miner. Where would people like us get any manners? Starving and freezing, madam, that's something I don't mind. But no education, madam. No manners, madam. No refinement.
I understand.
I'm going.
Where?
Out in the rain.
No.
I'm used to it.
Mr. Schmitz, don't look at me like that. Your father was a miner. I can understand it. You had an unfortunate childhood.
None at all, madam. None at all. My mother died when I was 7.
Sab? What's that?
Anything else you'd like?
I haven't ordered you to leave, Mr. Schmitz. I never said that. After all, what did I say? You don't understand me. Really, I mean it. Won't you believe me? Come, Sep. Finish. What do you take us for? I haven't even noticed that you smack your lips when you eat, honestly. Even if I did, we don't care about external things. We're not like that at all, Mr. Schmitz.
God will reward you.
Here's the salt.
You know it's true, madam. You never did say anything about me and my manners. That part's true. Pardon me for misunderstanding.
Is the egg all right?
A little soft. You know, my friend Willie says you can't find it anymore, he says. Private charity. Everything's state controlled. The world is going to the dogs, that's why. Wouldn't he be surprised to get a breakfast like this? Wouldn't he open his eyes, my friend Willie? That could be him.
Who is Willie?
You'll see, madam. Willie's refined. Used to be a waiter down at the Metropole. Before it burned to the ground.
Burned to the ground?
Head waiter.
Who is it?
A gentleman.
What does he want?
Well, he's from the fire insurance, he says, to look over the house. He's wearing this, like, long frock coat.
My friend Willie!
Now two of them dismay us. Two bicycles, both rusty, to whom do they belong?
One yesterday's arrival, and one today's. Whoa! Night once again, and our watch. How much the coward fears where nothing threatens,
dreading his own shadow,
whirling at each sound,
until his fears overtake him at his own bedside.
They never seem to leave their room, these two. What is the reason?
Blind, blind is the weakling, trembling, expectant of evil, yet hoping somehow to avoid it.
Defenseless.
Weary of menacing evil, with open arms he receives it.
Whoa!
Quiet. Suppose he calls the police.
Just keep going.
Well, what then?
Why would he call the police?
Why not?
Because he's guilty himself, that's why. Every citizen above a certain income is guilty one way or another. Have no fear. It's morning. Bedtime.
Open up in there! Open up, I say!
That's no call for breakfast.
Open up in there immediately!
Never liked that before.
Mr. Schmitz!
Mr. Biederman!
Mr. Schmitz!
I hope the noise didn't wake you.
Leave this house! I said leave this house!
When?
At once! Or my wife will call the police, and I can't and won't stop her. I said leave this house, and I mean it. What are you waiting for? I'll have no discussion about it.
Did I say anything?
If you think you could do as you like here just because you're a wrestler, a racket like that all night, out I say, get out!
He was never like that before.
My name is Eisenring.
What's the meaning of this?
Willie Maria Eisenring.
Why are there two of you suddenly, without even asking?
There, you see?
What's going on here?
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I say it's no way to accept? Where are your manners? Without even asking, suddenly two of us.
I'm beside myself.
There, you see? That's what I told him, Mr. Biederman.
Where do you think you are? Let's get one thing straight, gentlemen. I am the owner of this house. I ask you, where do you think you are?
Answer the gentleman when he asks you something.
Willie is a friend of mine.
And so?
We were schoolmates together.
And so?
And so I thought...
What?
I thought...
You did think! I understand completely, Mr. Biederman. All you want to do is what's right. Let's get that clear. Do you think the owner of this house is going to be pushed around? Sepp didn't consult you at all.
Not a word.
Sepp!
Not one word.
And then you're surprised when people throw you out in the street. Huh?
There's nothing to laugh at, gentlemen. I'm serious. My wife has a heart condition.
There, you see?
She didn't sleep half the night because of your racket. And anyway, what are you doing up here? What the devil are all these barrels? If you don't mind, what are these?
Barrels?
Where did they come?
Do you know, Willie, where they come from?
It says imported on the label.
Gentlemen.
It says so somewhere on them.
I'm speechless. What do you think you're doing? My entire attic is full of barrels, floor to ceiling. All the way from floor to ceiling.
Ha! I knew it. You had it figured out all wrong, Sepp. 6 by 8 meters, you said. There's not 20 square meters in this attic. Mr. Biederman, I couldn't leave my barrels in the street. You can understand that.
I don't understand a thing.
Here it is, Mr. Biederman. Here's the label.
I'm speechless.
Here it says where they come from, right here.
Simply speechless.
I'll call him, officer. What's it about?
Official business.
Is it true? Is it true?
Is what true?
What's printed on this label? What do you take me for? I've never in my life seen anything like this. Do you think I can't read? Gasoline. I'm asking you, what is in those barrels?
Gasoline!
Enough of your jokes. You know as well as I do, attics are no place for gasoline. Just smell that for yourselves. Is that gasoline or isn't it?
It is.
It is. No doubt whatever.
Are you insane? My entire attic is full of gasoline.
That's just why we don't smoke up here, Mr. Biederman.
A thing like that when every single newspaper is warning people to watch out for fires, my wife will have a heart attack.
There, you see?
And don't keep saying there, you see?
You can't do that to a lady, Sep. Not to a housewife. And trust me, I know housewives.
Mr. Biederman!
Mr. Schmitz, Mr.
Eisenring.
If you don't get these barrels out of this house this instant, and I mean this instant.
You'll call the police.
Yes.
There, you see?
That's my last word.
Which word?
I won't stand for it, once and for all. I won't stand for gasoline in my attic. I'm coming.
Ah, there you are, Mr. Biederman. You don't have to come down. It won't take much of your time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
There's been an accident.
Good heavens.
An elderly man, his wife says used to work for you, an inventor, put his head inside his kitchen stove last night. Nettling, Johann, number 11 Rosgas. Did you know anybody by that name? Perhaps you would rather witness privately, Mr. Biederman.
Yes.
This doesn't concern these employees of yours.
No. If anyone needs me, gentlemen, I'll be at the police station. I'll be right back.
Mr. Biederman,
Let's go.
what have you got in those barrels?
These?
If I may ask.
Hair tonic.
Hormatone. Science's gift to the well-groomed.
Try a bottle today.
You won't regret it.
Hormatone.
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 Ha
Is he dead?
He's a real sweetheart.
Didn't I tell you?
Only he didn't mention breakfast.
He was never like that before.
Have you seen the detonator?
He was never like that before.
O radiant sun, O godlike eye, light up the day again above our cozy roofs. Today, same as yesterday.
Hail!
No harm has come to the sleeping city.
Hail!
Not yet.
Hail!
Wise is man, and able to ward off most perils, if, sharp of mind and alert, he heeds signs of coming disaster in time.
And if he does not?
He who, attentive to possible dangers, studies his newspaper daily, is daily at breakfast dismayed by distant tidings, whose meaning is daily digested to spare him fatigue of his own muddled brainwork. Learning so quickly what's happening afar, can he so quickly discern what's happening under his roof? Things that's
Unpublished.
disgraceful,
Inglorious.
real.
Things not easy to face or impeach.
He is coming. No harm has come to the sleeping city. No harm yesterday or today. Ignoring all omens, the freshly shaven citizen speeds to his office.
Taxi! Taxi! Taxi? What's the trouble?
Woe to us!
Pardon?
Woe to us!
You said that already.
3 times woe!
But why?
All too strangely, a fiery prospect unfolds to our eyes, and to yours. Shall I be plainer? Gasoline in your attic!
Is that your business? Let me through, please. I have to see my lawyer. What do you want from me? Guilty? What is this, an inquisition? What's with all these questions?
Far be it from us, the chorus, to judge a hero of drama, but we do see the oncoming peril, see clearly the impending danger. Making a simple inquiry about an impending disaster, uttering merely a warning, Civic-minded, the chorus comes forward. Bathe the last in cold sweat, in half-fainting fear of that moment that calls for the hoses of firemen.
I'm in a hurry.
Woe to us! All that gasoline, Gottlieb Biederman? How could you take it?
Take it?
You know very well the world is a brand for the burning. Yet, knowing it, what did you think?
Think? My dear sirs, I am a free and independent citizen. I can think anything I like. I have the right, my dear sirs, not to think at all if I feel like it. Aside from the fact that whatever goes on under my roof, let's get one thing straight. I am the owner of the house.
Sacred to us is property, whatever befall. Though we be scorched, though we be cindered, sacred to us.
Well, then, why can't I go through? Why must you always imagine the worst? Where will that get you? All I want is a little peace and quiet, not a thing more. As for those two gentlemen, aside from the fact that I have other troubles right now, what are you doing here?
Am I interrupting?
Can't you see I'm in conference? With ribbons, of course. Never mind the cost. As long as it's a wreath.
Excuse me, sirs.
To cut it short, gentlemen, I'm fed up. You and your firebugs. I don't even go to the war, that's how fed up I am. Is there nothing else to talk about these days? Let's get one thing straight. If everyone goes around thinking everyone else is an arsonist, how are things ever going to improve? A little trust in people, for heaven's sake. A little goodwill. A little... You can't keep looking at the bad side. Why go on the assumption that everyone else is a firebug? Do you think I closed my eyes last night for one instant? I'm not an imbecile, you know. Gasoline is gasoline. I had the worst kind of thoughts running through my head. I climbed up on the table to listen, even got up on the bureau and put my ear to the ceiling. At least 4 times I climbed up on that bureau. They were snoring, mind you. Peacefully snoring. Just the same, I got as far as the stairs once, believe it or not, in my pajamas. And I was frantic, I tell you, frantic. I was all ready to wake up those 2 scoundrels and throw them out into the street, along with their barrels, single-handedly, without compunction, in the middle of the night.
Single-handedly, without compunction.
Yes,
in the middle of the night.
Just about to. If my wife hadn't come after me, afraid I'd catch cold.
How shall I put it? Sleepless he passed the night. That they take advantage of a man's good nature. Was this conceivable? Suspicion came over him. But why?
Hoping that goodness will come of goodness. How mistaken can you be?
What are you getting at?
It seems to us that there's a stink of gasoline.
I don't smell anything.
Woe to us!
Not a thing.
Woe to us! How soon he becomes accustomed to bad smells.
Woe to us!
Don't keep giving us that defeatism, gentlemen. Don't keep saying, woe to us. Taxi! Taxi! If you'll excuse me.
Citizen, where to?
His recourse, poor wretch. Forceful yet fearful, milk white of face, fearful yet firm. Against what? How
soon accustomed to bad smells.
Woe to us! Woe to you! He who dreads action more than disaster. How can he fight when disaster impends?
Why are you taking off your necktie, Gottlieb?
If I report those 2 guys to the police, I'll make them my enemies. What good will that do me? Just one match, and the house is up in flames. On the other hand, if I invite them to dinner, why...
What?
Why then, we'll be friends.
Just so you know, Anna, you can't have off this evening. We're having company. Step 4 places.
La-di-di-dum, do-do-do-dum, do-do-dum. Come in. La-da-da-dum.
Come in. A good day, Mr. Biederman.
May I come in?
I hope you slept well last night.
Thank you. Miserably.
Me too. It must be the wind.
I came up to say, Mr. Eisenring,
That you still want to kick us out?
in the middle of the night, I'm all out of sleeping pills. It's so sweet. You folks have no toilet facilities up here.
Well, we use the roof gutter.
Well, just as you like. I only thought you might like to wash or take a shower or something. I kept thinking of it all night. You're welcome to use my bathroom. I had Anna put some fresh towels in there for you. Why do you shake your head?
Where on earth did he put it?
What?
You haven't seen a detonator, have you? Well, don't trouble yourself, Mr. Biederman. You know, in jail we had no facilities either.
In jail?
Didn't Sepp tell you I just got out of prison?
No.
Not a word about it.
No.
All he likes to do is talk about himself. There are such people. Is it our fault, though, that his youth was tragic? Did you have a tragic youth, Mr. Biederman? I didn't. I could have gone to college. My father wanted me to be a lawyer.
Frankly, I couldn't sleep all night. Is there really gasoline in those barrels?
You don't trust us.
I'm merely asking.
Mr. Biederman, what do you take us for?
Mr. Eisenring, you mustn't think I have no sense of humor. Only, your idea of a joke.
That's what we've learned.
What is?
A joke is a good camouflage. Next best comes sentiment, like when Sepp talks about childhood and the coal mines and the orphanages and the circuses and so forth. But the best camouflage of all, in my opinion, is the plain and simple truth, because nobody ever believes it.
Come in, come in. Take a seat, please. But, if you are Mrs. Neckling, it's no use. Mr. Bierman wants nothing to do with you. Do sit down, please. But don't get up. Any hopes?
I wonder what's keeping Sepp. Sawdust can't be that hard to find. Hope they haven't nabbed him.
Nabbed?
Why do you smile?
When you use words like that, Mr. Eisenring, it's as though you came from another world. Nabbed. Like another world. Our sort of people seldom get nabbed.
That's because your sort of people seldom steal sawdust. It's obvious, Mr. Biederman, that's the class difference.
Nonsense.
You don't mean to say this.
I don't hold with class differences, Mr. Eisenring. You must have realized that by now. I'm not old-fashioned, just the opposite, in fact. And I regret that the lower classes still talk about class difference. Aren't we all, rich or poor, the creation of one creator? Are we not, you and I, human beings made of flesh and blood? I don't know whether you smoke cigars. I don't mean reduced to a common level, understand me. There will always be rich and poor, thank heavens. But why can't we just shake hands? A little goodwill, for heaven's sake. A little idealism. A little... And we'd all have peace and quiet, both the rich and poor. Don't you agree?
If I may speak frankly, Mr. Biederman.
Please do.
You won't take it amiss?
The more frankly, the better.
Frankly speaking, you oughtn't smoke up here. I can't make the rules for you here. It's your house. Still and all.
Of course.
There it is!
Mr. Eisenring, if I may ask, what is that you're doing? What is that?
This is a detonator. And this is the time fuse. Sepp says they've developed better ones lately, but they're not for sale to the general public. Besides, buying them's out of the question for us. Anything that has to do with war is frightfully expensive. Always the best quality.
You say?
A time fuse. If you'd be so kind, Mr. Biederman, as to hold this end. 1 second. There. Thank you, Mr. Biederman.
You can't put a scare into me, Willie. Though I must admit, you do count on people's sense of humor. Not everybody has my sense of humor.
You have to find the right man.
At the pub, for instance, just say you believe in the natural goodness of man, they have you marked down.
Ha! Those who have no sense of humor get what's coming to them. just the same when the time comes. So don't let that worry you. Well, what's the problem, Mr. Biederman? You've gone quite pale. It's the smell, I know. If you're not used to it, I'll open a window for you.
Thanks.
Mr. Biederman! Mr. Biederman!
Police again? It's a police state.
Mr. Biederman!
Mr. Eisenring, do you like goose?
Goose?
Roast goose.
Why?
Stuffed with chestnuts?
And red cabbage?
Yes. My wife and I especially, if we may have the pleasure, if it's not too much trouble, you and Seth, would you like to come to dinner?
Today?
Or tomorrow if you prefer.
Well, we probably won't stay until tomorrow, but today, Mr. Biederman, with pleasure.
Shall we say 7 o'clock? Is it a date?
It's a date.
Ready for action. Axes and fire hose. Polished in oil. Every brass fitting.
Every man of us tested and ready.
We'll be facing a high wind.
Every man of us tested and ready.
Our brass fire pumps. Polished in oil. Tested for pressure.
And the fire hydrants.
Everything ready.
Everything tested and ready.
My husband ordered a goose. See? This is it. And I have to roast it so we can be friends with those people upstairs. It's Saturday night. You can hear the bells ringing. I have an odd feeling, somehow, that this may be the last time we'll overhear them.
Babette!
I don't know, ladies, if Gottlieb is always right. You know what he says. Certainly they're scoundrels, Babette, but if I make enemies of them, it's goodbye to our hair tonic.
Babette!
Gottlieb's like that. Good-hearted. Always too good-hearted.
To the pumps! The ladders! The engines!
Ready!
We're ready!
You can see, can't you, Mrs. Neckling? I haven't time now. No time to think about the dead. I told you, go see my lawyer. I said a simple, informal dinner. What is that idiotic candelabra for?
But Mr. Biederman, we always have that.
I said simple, informal. No ostentation. Finger bowls? Knife rests? Can't you see I'm wearing my oldest jacket, Anna? And you. Leave the carving knife, Anna. We'll need that. But away with the rest of this silver. Where's the corkscrew?
Over there.
Don't we have anything simpler?
Well, yes, and the kitchen's rusty.
Bring it here. What's this for?
For the wine.
Silver? Do we always use this too?
We're going to need it, Mr. Biederman.
Humanity, brotherhood. That is what we need. Away with that thing. And what are those, will you tell me?
Napkins?
Damask napkins?
We don't have any others.
There are whole nations, Anna, that live without napkins. And why a cloth on the table?
Gottlieb?
Let's have no class distinctions. What's with the wreath?
It's what we ordered, Gottlieb. What do you think? They sent the wreath here by mistake. And I gave them the address myself. Neckling's address. I wrote it down even. And the ribbons and everything. They've got it all backwards.
What's wrong with the ribbon?
And the clerk says she sent the bill to Mrs. Neckling. To our dear departed Gottlieb Biederman.
We can't accept it. I should say not. They've got to exchange it. Please don't upset me, Babette. I can't think of everything. Take that tablecloth away. Help me, Anna. And remember, no serving. You come in and you put the pan on the table.
The roasting pan?
That's better. Just a bare table for a plain and simple supper.
You mean that, Mr. Biederman? Just bring in the goose in the pan? What wine shall I bring?
I'll get it myself.
Mr. Biederman!
What now?
Well, I don't have any sweaters, sir. Not any old sweater, as if I belonged to the family.
Just borrow one of my wife's.
The yellow or the red one?
Don't make a fuss. No apron, understand? And remember, no serving. And get rid of that candelabra. And make sure, especially, Anna, that everything's not so... I'll be in the cellar.
Make sure, especially Anna, that everything's not so neat. How's that?
Good evening, miss.
Why no sawdust?
Confiscated. Precaution. Police measure. They're picking up anybody who sells their own sawdust without written permission. Precautions all over the place.
Have you got the matches?
No.
Neither.
We'll have to ask him for them.
Who, Biederman?
Don't forget. That looks good.
You think what you like about me, gentlemen, but just answer one thing. I say to myself, as long as they're laughing and drinking, we're safe. The best bottles out of my cellar. I tell you, if anyone had told me a week ago, when did you guess they were arsonists, gentlemen? This thing doesn't happen the way you think. It comes on slowly at first. Then sudden suspicion. Though I was suspicious at once. One's always suspicious. But tell me the truth, sirs. What would you have done if you were in my God's sake? And when? When would you have done it? At what point? I must go back up.
Did you hear that oil waste, he says?
What's funny about it?
Oil waste, do you know what that is?
Yes.
You have no sense of humor, Babette.
All right then, explain it.
All right. This morning, Willie told Seth to go out and get some sawdust. Sawdust, get it? And just now, when I asked Seth if he got any, he said he couldn't find any sawdust. He got some oil waste instead. And Willie says oil waste burns better.
I understood all that.
You did?
That's funny about it.
Let's drink, man.
Is that the truth, Mr. Schmitz? Did you bring oil waste up to our attic?
Oh, this'll kill you, Babette. We even measured the fuse together, Willie and I.
The fuse?
The time fuse.
Seriously, what does this mean?
Seriously? Did you hear that? Seriously? No, don't let them kid you, Babette. I told you, our friends have their own way of kidding. Different company, different jokes, I always say. All you need now is to have them ask me for matches. These gentlemen took me for some milquetoast.
No.
For some dope without humor. Proceeds.
Proceed.
Proceed. Proceed to our friendship. We're not doing any serving tonight, gentlemen. Just help yourselves.
I can't eat anymore.
Don't restrain yourself, Sepp. You're not in the orphanage anymore. Your goose is one.
Glad to hear it.
Roast goose and stuffing. Now all we need is a tablecloth.
You hear that, Gottlieb?
Well, we don't have to have one.
Anna!
But, you know, One of those tablecloths. White damask with silverware on it. They're great. One of those tablecloths. Flowers. A white floral pattern. Of course, we don't have to have one. We didn't have one in jail.
In jail?
Where is that girl?
Have you been in jail?
Anna, a tablecloth here immediately.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and if you have some finger bowls or something.
Yes, sir.
You mustn't take it amiss, madam, but that's how the little man is. Take Seth, for instance. He grew up in the coal mine, but it's the dream of his miserable life. A table like this, with crystal and silverware. Do you believe it? He never heard of a knife rest.
But golly, we have all those things.
Of course we don't have to have them here.
Very well.
And if you have some napkins, miss, drop with them.
But Mr. Biederman said...
Out with them!
Yes, sir.
You mustn't take it amiss, madam, but when one is just out of prison, months at a time, no refinement whatever. Do you know what this is? He's never seen one before. This is damask.
What do you want me to do with it?
There we go.
Where's the knife rest, Anna?
Well,
Out with them!
but you said yourself, Mr. Biederman.
Out with them! Where are they, damn it?
They're in your pants pocket.
Don't get excited, miss.
I can't help it.
No excitement now. It must be the wind.
Drink up, friends.
Say, have you guys ever heard of trauma?
No.
I learned all about it in prison.
And how did you happen to be there, Mr. Eisenring?
I bet!
How did I get into prison?
One doesn't ask questions like that.
I wonder at that myself sometimes. I was a waiter, a little head waiter. Suddenly they made me out a great arsonist. They even called for me at my own home. I was so amazed I played along. I had luck, madam. 7 real charming policemen. I said, I have no time. I have to go to work. They said, your restaurant's burned to the ground.
Burned to the ground.
Overnight, apparently.
Burned to the ground?
Fine, I said. Then I do have time. That was all that was left of the place. Just a black, smoking hole. I saw it as we drove by. Through the windows, you know. The windows they have in those prison vans. Barred little windows.
And then?
Then, as I was sitting in the police station fiddling with my handcuffs, guess who they brought in? That one there! Prosit, Sep!
Prosit, Willie!
And then?
Are you a firebug, they asked him, and offered him cigarettes. He said, excuse me, Mr. Commissioner, but I have no matches. Although you think I'm a firebug. Prosit, Willie.
Prosit, Sep! Excuse me, miss, but what is that there?
The candlestick?
Why do you hide it?
Bring it here.
But, Biederman, you said...
I say bring it here.
What do you say to that, Sep? They have a candlestick and they hide it. A real golden candlestick. What more could you want? Have you a match?
Me? No.
Sorry, Mr. Biederman. No matches.
I have some.
Let's have them.
I'll do it. I'll light the candle. Let me.
Funny thing, can't find any more good matches these days. It creates an atmosphere, doesn't it, madam? Candlelight, I mean.
Yes, it does.
Atmosphere. A fine candlelight atmosphere.
I'm happy to know that.
Schmidt, don't smack your lips by me!
Let him alone!
Excuse me, madam, but he has no manners. It's awful. But Where could he have picked up any manners? From the coal mines to the orphanages.
I know.
From the orphanages to the circus.
I know.
From the circus to the theater.
I didn't know.
A football of fate, madam.
In the theater? Were you really? Where?
Upstage.
Really talented, too. Except as a ghost. Can you imagine it?
Not anymore, though.
And why not?
I was in the theater only a week, madam, before it burned to the ground.
Burned to the ground?
Burned to the ground.
Hey, let's show him. Now, doesn't he look like a ghost? Come here, little girl.
Who calleth?
That's theater language, madam. It's called a cue. He learned it in less than a week before the theater burned to the ground.
Please don't keep talking of fires.
Who calleth?
Go on.
Every man, every man.
Gottlieb?
Quiet.
We saw this play in Salzburg.
Beat a man, beat a man.
He's terrific.
Beat a man, beat a man.
Now you must say, who are you?
Me?
Or he can't say his lines.
Every man, beat a man.
All right then. Who am I?
No! You must ask him who he is.
Oh, I see.
No, Sep, let's start it again.
Every man, every man.
Are you the angel of death, maybe?
Nonsense.
What else could he be?
Ask him. He could be that ghost from Hamlet. Or, what's his name in Macbeth?
Who calls me?
Go on.
Gottlieb Biedermann.
Go ahead, answer him. He's talking to you.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Neckling.
Stop, you idiots. Neckling was buried today.
That's why I thought of him.
It's not Neckling, madam. It's Sep. What crudeness.
He was on my mind.
Of all things, Neckling. He was buried today. Mr. Biedermann's best employee. Imagine it. Buried, cold and stiff, not yet moldy, pale as this tablecloth, white and shiny as damask. Of all things, to go and act Neckling. Honest to God, madam, it's Sep. It's not Neckling at all.
I'm sorry.
Let's sit down.
Idiot, you can see how Mr. Biedermann is shaking when you know very well that Neckling put his head inside the gas stove after everything Gottlieb did for him. He gave this Neckling a job for 14 years, and that is his thanks?
Let's not talk about it.
And this is your thanks for the food?
Would you like me to sing you a song?
What?
Fox, you stole that lovely goosey. Fox, you stole that lovely goosey. Give it back again.
That's enough.
Give it back again, or they'll get you in the schnoozy.
He's drunk.
With their shooting gun.
That's enough now, Sep.
Give it back again, or they'll get you in the snoozy with their shooting gun.
Shooting gun. That's good.
Fox, you stole that lovely goosey, give it back again. Fox, you stole that lovely goosey, give it back again. Or they'll get you in the snoozy, or they'll get you in the snoozy, or they'll get you in the snoozy with their shooting gun.
So, prosings.
Rosie?
What's that? Joking aside. Don't yell like that. At least it's not here.
I wonder where.
Wind is blowing. Not here, anyways.
That's generally how we work it. Lure the fire department out to some suburb or other. Then when things really let loose, they find their way back blocked.
No, gentlemen, all joking aside.
That's how we do it. Joking aside.
No, quite seriously. Enough of this. Don't overdo it. Just look at my wife. White as chalk.
And you too.
Besides, someplace is burning, or the fire department wouldn't be rushing there.
We have to go now.
Now?
Sorry.
Or they'll get you in the schnoozy.
Babette, get some coffee. Anna, do you have to just sit there and gape? Just between us, gentlemen, enough is enough. Don't overdo it. Let's have no more joking about fires.
Mr. Biederman, we're not joking.
We're firebugs.
No, gentlemen, quite seriously.
Quite seriously.
Yeah, quite seriously.
Mr. Biederman, your house is very favorably situated. 5 villas like yours around the gasworks. It's true they keep a close watch on the gasworks. Still, there's a good stiff wind blowing.
Can't be.
Let's have plain talk. You think we're firebugs?
No, I don't think you are. You do mean injustice, gentlemen. I don't think you're firebugs.
You swear you don't?
No, I don't believe it.
What do you think we are?
You're my friends.
It's time to leave.
Gentlemen, I swear to you by all that's holy.
By all that's holy?
Yes.
Willie doesn't believe in anything that's holy, Mr. Biederman, any more than you do. You'll waste your time swearing.
I do to make you believe me.
Give us some matches.
Some.
We have no more matches.
You want me to?
If you don't think we're firebugs.
Matches?
To show your belief in us, he means.
See how he hesitates?
Shh, not in front of my wife.
Your coffee will be ready in a minute. Must you go?
At least you felt, while here, I don't want to make a speech on this occasion, but maybe not drink to our eternal friendship before you go.
Tell your very charming husband, madam, that he needn't open any more bottles on our account. It's not worth the trouble anymore.
It's no trouble, my friends, no trouble at all. Sep, Willie, my friends.
We must go now.
Unfortunately.
Good evening, madam. Just one thing now, Gottlieb.
What is it?
I mentioned it to you before.
Anything at all, just name it.
The matches.
Why? What is it, Anna?
The coffee.
Anna, you're all upset.
Well, you see, Mrs. Biederman, back there, well, the whole sky, you can see from the kitchen, the whole sky's burning. I'll be right back.
I don't know.
Not our house, anyways. Not our house. Not ours.
Gottlieb, what did you give them? Matches? Not matches. Not matches.
Don't be foolish, Babette. If they were really firebugs, you think they wouldn't have matches?
Useless, quite useless, and nothing more useless than this useless story. For arson, once kindled, kills many, leads few, and accomplishes nothing.
That was the gasworks. Unforeseen disaster has reached us at last. Horrendous arson, unquenchable fire, fate, so they call it.